The average American works 12% more hours than they did in 1979. Wages, adjusted for inflation, have barely moved. And yet, the cost of housing, healthcare, and education has increased by 200, 500, and 1,400% respectively. So you're working more, you're earning roughly the same, and everything you actually need costs dramatically more. This isn't a coincidence. It's a feature of a system specifically designed to keep you dependent on the next paycheck. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how that system works, who benefits from it, and the 3 levers that actually determine whether your income is making you wealthier or just keeping you alive. Most people measure their financial progress in one number, their salary. Got a raise? Doing better. Salary stayed flat? Falling behind. It seems simple. It's also almost completely wrong. Here's why. Your gross salary, the number your employer tells you, goes through at least 4 filters before it becomes actual purchasing power in your life. Federal income tax, state income tax, payroll taxes, and inflation. By the time a $5,000 raise clears all 4 filters for a median earner in the United States, they're looking at roughly $2,800 in additional take-home pay per year. That's $233 a month. And if inflation ran at 4% that year, which it did in 2023, 2024, and most of 2025, the $50,000 they were already earning now requires $52,000 to buy the same things. So that raise didn't make them richer. It made them almost as poor as they were before. This isn't a hypothetical. This is the mathematical reality most salaried workers are living in right now. And employers know it, which is why a 3% annual raise has become standard practice. It's just enough to feel like progress, and just below the rate at which your real purchasing power erodes. To understand how we got here, you need to go back to the 1970s. After World War II, the United States ran on a deal. Productivity went up, wages went up with it. If workers made more widgets per hour, they got paid more per hour. This wasn't charity, it was negotiated through unions, enforced through legislation, and backed by a culture that saw rising wages as the engine of economic growth. Then, in 1971, Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. In 1973, the oil crisis hit. Inflation surged, and the Federal Reserve, led by Paul Volcker, responded by raising interest rates to nearly 20% to crush it. It worked. Inflation died. But so did the wage productivity rate. What happened next was a quiet restructuring of who gets the gains from economic growth. Shareholder value became the primary goal of corporations. Unions were systematically weakened. The tax code was restructured to favor capital income over labor income. And from roughly 1980 onward, productivity kept climbing, but wages stopped following. The gains went somewhere else. To shareholders, to executives, to asset owners. That's not an opinion. The Economic Policy Institute has tracked this data for decades. From 1979 to 2020, productivity grew by 61.8%. Hourly compensation for typical workers grew by 17.5%. The rest went up the chain. So if the salary system is structurally rigged against wage growth, what actually moves the needle? There are 3 levers, and most people are only touching one of them. Lever 1, your labor income. This is your salary, your hourly rate, your freelance fees. It's what most people spend 100% of their financial energy on. And it matters, but it has a ceiling. Your time is finite, and as we just established, the system is designed to give you the minimum increase required to retain you. The only people who consistently win on pure labor income are those who make themselves genuinely difficult to replace, through specialization, scarcity, or leverage over their employer. Lever 2, the spread between income and spending. This is the number almost no one talks about, and it's more powerful than the raise you've been angling for. If you earn $80,000 and spend $75,000, your spread is $5,000. If you earn $80,000 and spend $60,000, your spread is $20,000. The person with the $20,000 spread and no raise will build wealth faster than the person who got a 10% raise but expanded their lifestyle to match. Lever 3, capital income. This is the lever the wealthy almost exclusively use after a certain point. Dividends, rental income, business profits, capital gains. These income streams are taxed at lower rates than wages, don't require your time, and compound over decades. The reason billionaires pay lower effective tax rates than middle-class workers isn't a loophole. It's the structure. Wages are taxed as ordinary income. Capital gains top out at 20% federally. When your income comes from owning things rather than doing things, the tax code treats you very differently. Most salaried workers are working lever 1, ignoring lever 2, and have no access to lever 3. That's the trap. There's one more mechanism that keeps this trap locked in place: lifestyle inflation. Humans are wired for relative comparison. We don't feel rich or poor in absolute terms. We feel rich or poor compared to the people around us. And as your salary grows, the people around you tend to be earning more too. New neighborhood, new peer group, new baseline of what normal spending looks like. The $60,000 earner who saves $10,000 a year gets a promotion to $90,000. They move to a nicer apartment. They upgrade their car. They start going to the same restaurants their colleagues go to. Suddenly they're saving $9,000 a year, despite a $30,000 raise. Their savings rate actually fell. This is called the hedonic treadmill, and it is the silent killer of wealth accumulation. Every upgrade you make to your lifestyle requires you to maintain that new income level forever just to stay in place. And every dollar of new spending reduces the spread, lever 2, that would otherwise be building your escape from the salary system entirely. Here's what I want you to take from this. The salary system is not designed to make you wealthy. It's designed to make you productive enough to retain and dependent enough not to leave. A raise feels like progress. Sometimes it is. But without understanding the 3 levers, and without actively resisting lifestyle inflation, a higher salary often just means a higher cost version of the same trap. The people who break out of it aren't usually the ones who earned the most. They're the ones who understood the math early, protected their spread ruthlessly, and started building capital income before they felt like they could afford to. You don't need to earn more to start. You need to stop letting the system decide what you do with what you already have.